Another Real Talk Show with Susan Kariuki starts now.
Welcome to eAfrica in Focus. Professor Wajackoyah is the first Kenyan in the diaspora to declare his presidential ambitions in the year 2012. He speaks to eAfrica in Focus. I'd like to welcome you to the show. The interview is coming up next. Welcome to the eAfricainfocus.com. I am Susan Kariuki with the Real Talk Show. I'd like to start off by saying there is dire need for change in the government of Kenya. And that seems to be the song being sung by every Kenyan right now, be it in the diaspora or at home in Kenya. That need for change is the reason why we are gathered here today. And we are joined by the first Kenyan presidential candidate from the diaspora, Professor George Wajackoyah. And I also have... Yes, and I also have in the studio Slyvester, Oluoch, who is part of our executive team with eAfrica in Focus. So I want to welcome both of you gentlemen into our program.
Thank you very much.
Now, Professor Wajackoyah, you want to run for presidency in Kenya come 2012. The first thing I'd like to start off by doing is to get to know who Professor Wajackoyah is. I know that you are the professor of law at American Heritage University in Southern California, and you are also the vice president of MyHubNet Corporation, a company based in Rancho Cucamonga in California. Tell us a little bit more about your humble upbringing and your life in Kenya before you moved to the UK.
Yes, I was born in Uganda. My parents were working in Jinja. I grew up in Nairobi on the streets as a street boy, and I was by the Hare Krishna religion.
Okay.
I stayed in their temple, and then one good Samaritan, Ramlal Sharma of City High School, the owner of City High School, took me away from Hare Krishna and brought me up as part of his family, and also helped me in City High School, Nairobi. Then after that, I Form 4, the East African Certificate of Education in 1979, upon which I succeeded, and he sponsored me to Mumias Boys High School for my A-levels. And after my A-levels, I became an untrained teacher in various schools, including Ravels Secondary School, City High School, Shikoti Girls, and in that endeavor, I happen to teach people like the current MP for Game, Mr. Jakoro Midio, lawyers like Jacob Mutula, and the rest. Then after that, actually, I joined the Kenya Police Force as a police constable and worked my way out to the inspectorate rank. Then I became an inspector. I did my work diligently as a police officer. And then there was a lot of stuff that was going on that I didn't like, and I questioned the authority of the state in the abuse of human rights by using the police, and then I became an enemy of the system. And when Dr. Robert Oluoch was killed, I was appointed to investigate the case, and the government could not agree with my findings. Instead, they wanted me to doctor the results. Upon which, when I refused, they put me in jail and they tortured me. And by that particular time, being a police officer was like an outcast, and nobody could have taken notice of me. So after being detained for a while, good Americans through Smith Armstrong, the late Smith Armstrong, the then Kenyan United States ambassador to Nairobi, worked out for my flight to the United States. But however, when I reached England, I changed my mind to live in the United Kingdom, where I worked as a security guard, grave digger, and I did all kinds of jobs to sustain my living and paying off my education. Then I actually went to various law schools, including the University of Wolverhampton, where I did my Bachelor of Laws degree, while at Holborn College in London. After that, I went to the University of London School of Oriental and African Studies, where I did my master's in immigration and a certificate in international comparative laws. After that, actually, I proceeded to the prestigious University of Warwick in Coventry, where I did a master's in law and development. Then after that, again, I went to University of Westminster for legal practice course. Then I joined University of London again, Babbitt College, for my doctorate, which is still pending. Then after that, I opened my law firm in England. But during that particular time, I joined a group of people, particularly there were Swahilis from Mombasa and the Kenya Movement of Justice and Democracy, to fight off the dictatorial system that we had in the country. And I invited Koigi Mwere from Norway. Koigi had actually been an outcast in London. The British system did not like him because they thought he was a Marxist. But I managed to sneak him in, and he came at SOAS together with Dr. Leakey to talk to the students to create awareness of human rights abuse. I also brought in Honorable Dennis Akumu, who was by then Member of Parliament. And I proceeded with the student activism and also opened up a law firm in Dalston, in London, where I practiced immigration for a while before I relocated to the United States, where again I ventured into education and at Baltimore University.
Do you feel that your return to Kenya would be a security risk for you now?
For sure, very many people are concerned. It's a high security risk. The reason why I say it's a high security risk is the people I mentioned or I named in the killing of Dr. Uko are still very much alive. They're entrenched in the government. The current political establishment right now would not want me to go back because they know that I stand a chance of bringing change in our country. And none of those politicians is thinking of even coming to speak with me, besides Mwai Kibaki, who has been a very dear person from the time when he was Minister of Finance, and then he was relegated to a member of opposition. Apart from Kibaki, who had my interests at heart, all these politicians, to be honest with you, they are very much frustrated now that I've come up as a diaspora person. And they think that this is going to take away their model, being fresh, being uncorrupt, and being a person who has actually been well networked with the human rights at the heart of the middle of my heart. So I'm actually a security risk as we speak right now.
Sylvester?
Just one thing, Professor, just for further clarification. In every political endeavor, there is always positive returns that could be earned by reaching out. My first question is, you mentioned one of your students being Wajackoyah Midio. Have you reached out to your student and explained to him your dreams and your ambitions and what you plan to do for Kenya? That's one. And two, I know when it comes to political issues, the best defense an individual has is to make your knowledge public. Like, for example, if I know something that is politically sensitive today, as long as I've not shared it with the rest of the public, I remain at a great risk because somebody knows that by silencing me, the truth goes away. But if I've spread the word, even if you kill me, the word lives on. So what have you thought of, like, publishing a book with an expose to let the rest of the world know this, so that somebody feels that the urgency, for example, to take your life in case they reach you, becomes less?